That's 1/2 pint for man, 1 gallon jug for mankind.
December 7th, 1941, a cream that will churn in infamy.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a cow. Well, I am not a cow.
Ask not what your dairy can do for you. Ask what you can do for your dairy.
You've done enough. Have you no sense of fat content, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of creamery?
This is Milks of the World.
Hi, hello. Unfortunately, this will probably be terrible quality because I'm recording this on my phone. I apologize for the incredibly brief nature of this episode, but Alex has the stomach flu, I believe. He originally said he had food poisoning, but I'm going to attribute it to stomach flu because he's very achy and has a fever and told me that he is shitting liquid, which is probably really uncomfortable because he's one of those in the toilet, like shit's in the toilet types instead of near the toilet. I don't know what that's all about, but I assume that you were all on my side with shitting near the toilet. Anyways, I'm going to do a very abbreviated, what we have dubbed the Tim 10 minute. So I apologize. That sounds fucking unbearable for you all to have to listen to. And I cleared my throat. When Alex is not here, I just go completely off the rails. This is an act of rebellion, I feel like. I mean, he told me to do this. He said, record something on your phone, make it the Tim 10 minute. I mean, he did sort of direct this whole endeavor, but it was an act of rebellion for me to accidentally clear my throat. I mean, I don't want to vary the range at which I'm holding my phone away from my face. This is incredibly boring. But you are listening to... Wait, no, I have to start that over. You're listening to Milks of the World with your host, Tim the Milkman Ross, and Creamy Tom, which is Alex, who is absent. I hope we're all on the same in-joke there, and that is not supposed to be good. I'm doing it as a fun thing to do, to kind of like play off of Morning Zoo stuff. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to... I'm at 2 minutes. I'm not sure how to fill 10 minutes. I'm taking a look at some of the things that we had planned for this episode. I did Uncle Biscuit. Not going to do a full Uncle Biscuit quadrant, but he did say it was very important to get this message out, whether we record it or not. So I'll read you one of his words of wisdom. It says, if someone called Spam Risk calls you, tell them to call me back. I wasn't done talking about that little piece of bacon what's in the can of baked beans. Is it good? Is it bad? I eat it every time and I still do not know. All I know is that we gotta get those commercials back. The one where the dog says, roll that beautiful bean footage. So yeah, that was a message that Uncle Biscuit found very important to relay to you. He is very into those commercials. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and read what I had planned for the literary spotlight. The new story that I uncovered from the Big Book of Milk. I'll read that for everyone. That seems a way to prolong this incredibly brief episode. This is Infinite Chest by Daisy Foster Walrose. There was a boy who played tennis for a tennis school. Footnote, a tennis school is a school where people play tennis. Footnote to the footnote. Tennis is a game that people play in a popular spectator event. Footnote to the footnote's footnote. It is played with rackets and a ball and a net. The boy who played tennis was grumpy and needed to be better at tennis. Wow, he thought. I know there's people addicted to stuff in this story, but me, I'm only addicted to milk. Milk helps my bones grow strong and helps me play tennis so good. Footnote. Milk is a beverage produced by mammals. Footnote to the footnote. It's very good. Oh boy, he thought, I need a milk supply that never runs out. What I need is an infinite chest. He went out looking for a long time and played a bunch of tennis, and then one day he found the infinite chest. He became the god king of tennis because of all the milk. Tennis would never be the same. Thank goodness for the infinite chest. The end. That was one of the stories in the Big Book of Milk, and it may bear some resemblance to Infinite Jest, which I have not read. I read like the first chapter or so. I don't even remember if the book is split into chapters, but I read probably 30, 40 pages. I actually do have that on my to-do list for this year. That's one of the books that I do intend to read. How are your resolutions and shit like that going? I don't know. Did you make any goals? milkmefather666@gmail.com. Please email us and say that from now on we can never miss a duo episode again because this fucking sucks. Just me blabbering. There's one more thing. This is the Tim 10 Minute, so I will talk about what I had intended to talk about in the Tim Minute, just a more prolonged version of that. And that is that over the course of my life, I have left many creative endeavors, like, have pursued and left fallen by the wayside. I don't know what it is. I do have this compulsion to create, to do creative work. I don't know if y'all have that bug or how that bug manifests if you do have it. Like, do you have a much more narrow focus, or are you all over the place the way that I am? Do you have a ton of unfinished projects? See, at one point when I was going to community college, I wrote about half of a novel, and it was, excuse me, I moved away that time. But I wrote about half of a novel and just completely abandoned it. I think the file is deleted or exists on a hard drive somewhere else, but I'm not concerned about it because I ended up not liking where it was and just completely abandoned that project, which was a pretty substantial amount of writing that I had done. When I was younger, I was in a metal/hardcore band, Christian metal/hardcore band. If you are familiar with the parlance of metalcore, that's the kind of music that we played. People danced like they were fighting invisible ninjas when we played. It was a whole lot of fun. But that's another thing. I never chose to pursue music further. Although music related, I did when I was young want to be a rapper. I am a big fan of hip hop. I wanted to be a rapper. I had a little plastic microphone that I would walk around the house and like freestyle with. I have a specific memory of like being in the basement while my mom was doing some laundry and like rapping about her doing laundry, and she was just like, just shut the fuck up. If you're not going to help, I don't want to hear your raps. And so I helped her with the laundry and stopped rapping as well. Not permanently. I did ages ago record a song when I lived in Gettysburg. I lived in an intentional community in Gettysburg for a year. This is the most boring this podcast has ever been for the longest amount of time. But I lived in Gettysburg in an intentional community. And actually, another one of the creative endeavors, I got into slam poetry. I was briefly a slam poet to the point that I had recorded some audio tracks of poems, and I had performed like at a poetry reading night a couple times. And we ran a music venue there, and I even opened up for a couple of musical acts, a couple bands. And one of the kids who was there had a band, and I like traveled with them and opened up for them. I think I only did that like once. The children were not super into hearing a random fat guy do poetry about social injustices, but it was fun while it lasted. But yeah, I've been writing for most of my life. The first story that I can remember writing was in 4th grade. It was called The Mulika Choosers. It was about an aliens who abducted a pair of children and for some reason put them inside of a cardboard box with a samurai sword, so they were able to escape. Not the most creative story, but I had a lot of fun coming up with the name Mulika Choosers. This is directionless, but I am coming up on 10 minutes, which is what I committed to doing. Email us, milkmefather666@gmail.com. Let us know what to do in the future if this situation should arise again. And as always, please give us a review with words. Tell your friends about this podcast. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell myself to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Tim. All right, thank you. This has been Milks of the World. Good luck and good milk.
Fact: if you listen to this podcast, you are one of the few chosen creamers.
Creamer.